Welcome to my channel. It's your girl Agape. Today's topic is relationship with my mom. The last video I dropped was relationship with my dad. Relationship with my mom is quite different from that of my dad. In hindsight and on reflection, I appreciate what my mom did to make me the person that I am today. But it works well in the family when one is soft and the other is firmer. It complements. Being the first child and the only girl, my mom was very particular to train me in the ways that I would be responsible, not only to the family, but to the wider world. Also, my culture, Igbo, ensures that you have to train your girl, your girl child, in the way that she will be able to manage her own home and look after the family. So being the first child, I had all these responsibilities. So my mom made me to help out a lot in the house. I started helping in the kitchen while my brother was not. But that was nothing like discrimination, but that was what the culture allows a mother to do. I didn't see it like that at that time. Times have changed. In my own home, I make sure that the chores are done equally by my daughter and my two sons. My brother at that time was doing some chores, but it's nothing compared to the ones I do. We have garden that we have to water morning and evening, so he got his own. He doesn't. I can't remember him sweeping the house. I was the one sweeping the house. A list of chores will be listed for me to do. I think looking back now, it is to make sure that I don't go out playing without remembering that I have to take care of certain chores in the house. So I will be told to sweep the house, to do dam dusting, to prepare things when my mom wants to make soup, to grind like crayfish, tomatoes, onions, with the grinding stone. We had a grinding stone, not the blender. So I have to do all these things and keep it for my mom. Even the vegetable, I wash it and cut it. Oh no, not cut it, because she doesn't like me to cut it, but I will wash it, make sure there's no sand. So all these are kept. At some point I will be thinking, all the hard work has been done. You know, if you want to prepare like okra soup, I will pound the ogbono and make sure it's smooth, and I'll keep it aside. I will grind the crayfish and the pepper and the onions, and also the ogiri, which is a local spice. I will keep it aside. I will cut the okra, and I will wash the leaves, the ugu leaf or whatever, or green or whatever leaf he wants to use for the soup. And all these things will be placed on the table. And I was wondering, what does she do then just to assemble all this? So the hard work has already been done by me. But looking back, I'm glad I had that tutelage, because it has helped me a lot in my growing up, living alone, getting married, and up to this time. And I try as much as possible as well to teach my children. Though now, if you want to learn any type of cooking, you just go on the Google and then you get it. I would say I'm not as strict as my mom was with me, with my children, but I make sure they know how to cook, particularly the boys, which I'm so glad that now they are living on their own. They like cooking. One of my sons can say like baking as well. So yes, it's good, and I'm pleased I did. My mom studied home economics, which involves cooking, baking, and dressmaking. One of the things I like doing with her is baking. She does a lot of cake, meat pies, and stuff like that for occasions and for us. So mixing the batter is a very fun experience, because after she has scooped whatever she has to use, and whatever is left in the plate is left for us to lick. And so I look forward to that part. But the creaming of it's quite an exercise. My mom is very particular, the sugar and the butter. There was no cake mixer or anything like that. You had to use hand to cream it, and she will always tell me, when you know it's good, it will be light, and when you scoop it, it will drop on its own without any effort. So it's a lot of arm exercise, and my brother doesn't do it. I am the one who does it, but he will sneak in to come and share the plate afterwards with me. One of the things I used to do was, when my mom was not looking, I usually get some bread and scoop some of the butter and sugar. But anyway, I did the hard work, so I didn't see it as anything. But the dressmaking, I didn't pick up on, which is it's one of my regrets. I did try much later when I had interest, but she wasn't very keen on starting fresh with me. She said, go and learn a bit and then come home and I will supervise you. I did, but gave up. But I could make simple gown and do buba, wrapper and top, and so maybe repair things and stuff like that. But I could have gone into full fashion designing, because there was machine there and there was my mom, but I didn't show much interest in that aspect. One thing is that my mom always made her own clothes. My mom always make my own clothes. But it's an aspect of her that I regret not developing. The baking, I picked up very well on the baking, so I can bake, and I've baked birthday cakes for my children. I'm not doing commercial. I think I surprised her on one occasion. She was supplying meat pie to some schools, and she went on travel, which unfortunately was extended due to some emergencies. And I thought, what will I do? Because those people will be expecting those meat pie. And I said I would do it so that they wouldn't know she's not there. So I did it for 2 days, and I supplied, and they didn't complain. And when my mom came back, he said, oh, I will lose my customers because for 2 days now I didn't supply. I said, don't worry, I did make the meat pies and supplied on your behalf. And he said, I didn't know you were paying attention and that you were even bold enough to do it. And I said, yeah, I was quietly learning on the side, but the opportunity presented itself, and I didn't fail. So that aspect is still with me. I can do any kind of bakery, maybe bread, meat pie, sausage roll, all these I can. But my biggest regret is the dressmaking. My mom was very good at planning for the family, buying things in bulk, preserving things. I picked up on those ones. So one of the things with my mom is that I wanted her to be softer with me, but she felt that if she did that, she would spoil me. So it's always regimented. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to deliver this, you have to be in the straight and narrow. But on occasions when I'm in the straight and narrow and somebody offends me or causes me harm or brings trouble to me, and once I tell my mom, she goes all out to defend me. I remember on one occasion, I was in Okunano Girls Secondary School in Enugu, and I went to the hospital, a day trip to the hospital, and when I came back, my dad dropped me later in the day, and the matron that is looking after, because I was in the boarding school, said, oh, your sugar daddy brought you back. And I was like, what? So the next day they called me in the staff room and was berating me. And I was like, they can't believe me. They won't believe me. What am I gonna do? Because my mom used to teach in the secondary school, Okonano Girls, but she left and was working in the State Education Commission. But one of her friends saw me and called me, said, what's going on? And I said, my dad brought me back, but they thought it's my sugar daddy. And he said, oh, quickly told them, please leave her alone. I think she's telling the truth. If her mom hears of this, it won't go down well. So I went home. I was crying. I went home and I told my mom. And she came back the next working day and met the principal and said, this is unacceptable. My daughter being harassed, embarrassed, berated because her dad brought her home and they thought it's the sugar daddy. With all her explanation, nobody believes her. Do you want me to bring my husband to identify that it is him that brought her back? I think on that occasion, all the tutors knew who my mom was and what she stands for, and they let me be. Because if I was in the wrong, my mom could have been all over me like a rash. But she knew that I was telling the truth, and she would do whatever it takes to support me. I've got that kind of trait as well. When I know my children are in the right, I go all out to support them. But they know if they're in the wrong, that I will not condone bad behavior or bad manners. My mom was very close to me when I had children. She was a very big source of support. Immediately she stopped working and she was available. When my dad died, she said, please leave your daughter Chidema with me to keep me company. And I willingly agreed. And my husband said, it's fine. She raised you. I don't have any problem with that. But people were saying to me, oh, how can you leave your child with your mother? I know she's going to take good care of her. So I wasn't bothered about it. That didn't stop there. When I had my son, it was an exchange to leave Ikechukwu, and Chidema came back. And then when I had Kamsi was crying a lot. He wouldn't want to stay. So Kamsi didn't go on that missionary journey. So also when I came to UK, I told her that I was going to come, and she said, what are your plans for your children? I said, they are staying with my husband because we've already discussed. But later my husband thought it would be the best option to go to the town where my mom is staying, because they have an office there, and so that she can keep an eye also on the kids. So yeah, so my kids are very close to my mother. And when I've already done a video on how she brought my kids to UK. So from time to time, she will come and stay with them up to 6 months and then go back. So she has been in their life, and they had a good rapport. Particularly my first child, Chidema, had a very strong rapport with my mother. She was very useful to me in UK, where there is no house help that you can afford. But she sacrificed her time to give me that opportunity to settle and practice in the UK. I'm very grateful for that, because a lot of people had problems, but that was never one of my problems, having a childcare. So that's the kind of relationship I had with my mother. What kind of relationship did you have with your own mother? Was she strict or was she soft? Anyway, my mom was very soft with my children. And I was just thinking, is this the same person? That the way she was with me and now with my children? But they say that grandchildren, you treat them differently. So yeah, I saw both sides. So, but at the end of the day, she is my mother, and she had the best intentions for me and for my brother. No matter how we perceived it, we are grateful that she is, and I'm grateful that she's my mother and that she brought me up and instilled a lot of values in me. Mom, I want to tell you, wherever you are, that I'm still carrying on being a mother, doing the best I can, and I hope my best is good enough for my children to carry on to their own families. Thank you for watching. Agape love. See you in my next video. Bye.